Fox News's Harris Faulkner had a big telephone interview with Donald Trump, and it didn't go so well. Lots of awkward moments, including the moment where Faulkner broke some news and then immediately had to backtrack or retract, I should say, because she made a mistake regarding the DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Let's watch.
Yes, because it's just happened now, and I want to double check this with our producers. The DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas has resigned, Mr. President.
Well, I'm not surprised. Good. That's a big victory for our country.
Hold on. Let me stop. Let me listen to my team one more time. Forgive me. That has not happened. But and I apologize.
Okay.
Listening to the team and you.
Cross off that victory.
I know that.
Look, I don't know what happened, and sometimes news breaks when you're live, and you get this temptation to just do it live, right? Just take a break. It's all right. Take a break, take a breather, okay? Before you embarrass yourself by saying that a top official in the administration has resigned. Just make sure you confirm that, you know? Look, mistakes are made, but just like this urge to be like, we gotta do it, make sure it's on there, we gotta do it, we gotta be first. Just relax, it's gonna be okay. No one goes to Fox News for breaking news.
Look, Anna, it's a little worse than that. And it's so embarrassing that I almost feel bad for Harris Faulkner, but you gotta have the context of news in your head if you're an anchor on television. Like, what are the chances that the Department of Homeland Security head resigned in the middle of the Trump interview because Trump criticized them in the morning? Remember, it's the Biden administration. That is incredibly unlikely. I mean, overwhelmingly unlikely. So that's the type of thing, if you thought you heard your producer say it, or even if your producer did say the DHS secretary has resigned, I would never say that on air when I'm interviewing a former president, because I think that's not likely to be true, right?
It gets worse. Yeah, it gets worse, Cenk. It gets so much worse. So she tries to save it, and Trump's reaction is important here. So let's take a look.
Well, and I want to tell everybody, you issued a statement last night, and you called for that, though. And you're just talking about him, just to clarify, as somebody who you feel is not competent to handle what's going on. So let me clean up on aisle 7 with my error. He has not resigned, and let me move right to what you are calling for, and others too. Most presidents, ex-presidents like yourself, do not weigh in at this level. Why did you feel like you needed to on this issue?
Well, you called me, I didn't call you, in all fairness.
I don't really have anything to say. That was awesome.
Yeah. No, look, Trump's such a mess too. It's so sad that 40% of the country looks at Trump and thinks that's my leader. That's the guy I look up to. Anyway, so the reason why they had this mess is not just because of Harris Faulkner's mistake. Trump puts out the statement because he's not on Twitter anymore. So he's just like throwing leaflets at a corner, right? He had John Spicer tweet this out on his behalf, photocopied and pasted. He's sending faxes to people, telegrams like, I hear ya. Listen here, President Trump's got a telegram for you. Yeah, that's it. And so the statement was, I don't like this guy because he criticized me and I want him to resign. Everybody's like, yeah, okay, that's not gonna happen. So when I'm sure every Fox show is trying to get Trump on 24/7. So he happened to pick up when Faulkner's show was on. He's like, yeah, all right, sure, I'll go on air. And then Faulkner's like, okay, so you put out this statement, and normally ex-presidents aren't such jerks. It's what she meant to say, but she had to couch it in so aggressive and how they disagree with the former administration, et cetera. And he's like, I didn't call you, you called me. I don't care. Oh my, they're both a mess.
I love it. But I'm not gonna lie, that smackdown by Trump was pretty entertaining. And that's the thing, like Trump is a complicated figure. Like, he's not complicated when he's in a position of power. He's awful and should never be in a position of power. He's cruel, he's selfish, he's narcissistic, he's incredibly incompetent. So I'm not trying to make him out to be good in any way. But there's a reason why he succeeded in The Apprentice. Like, he's, dare I say it, time to time, kind of funny. And that moment was certainly funny. And Cenk, since you mentioned his leaflets, I did want to read what he had to say about Mayorkas. We had these graphics ready for the first story, but it's super relevant for this story. Trump slammed Mayorkas as pathetic, clueless, self-satisfied, and incapable of leading the Department of Homeland Security in his statement, adding that Mayorkas' Sunday show appearances were a national disgrace. Trump called for an immediate congressional investigation into what he called a gag order on our nation's heroic border agents and ICE officers. I mean, Trump is the guy who tried to have like administration officials sign NDAs, right?
Yeah, like, of course. He had nonstop gag orders. And every time there was a leak, he was like, that's it, they should be executed. We should have full extent of the law. I think it's treason to do a leak like this. Now he's like, can you believe that they are doing these kind of orders where the government officials aren't allowed to talk to the press? Really, really, after all that? Look, but all of this, they're never gonna stop. So every Republican story we do and every Trump story we could end with, really? So look, on the other issue, whenever Obama spoke out against Trump, Fox News, et cetera, would pretend to be outraged. Can you believe a former president is bad-mouthing a current president? That is against protocol and etiquette. And we, as Trump supporters, care a lot about etiquette. Now, Trump, I mean, I don't want to vomits on top of Biden's administration. Mayorkas national disgrace. I'm calling him for him to be blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe we should hang him like we wanted to hang Mike Pence. And Fox is like, bravo, bravo, no. And at the end, Faulkner had to apologize. He was like, no, it's true, it's true. We called you, you didn't call us. We're so sorry, of course, right? Pathetic.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.